Thorns. Nadia Nadim, their leading scorer, but it is a very diverse team in terms of their attack. And Western New York coming in here trying to get a win. They came close the last time 3 weeks ago, Kendra. Fought back with 2 goals late, but it wound up being a 3-2 Portland win.
We knew they were the comeback queens. We kept waiting for it, and holy cow, was that an exciting game the way they wrapped that one up.
The Flash wearing their white tops and black shorts will start with the ball. Portland in their home red uniforms, and you really get the feeling and all the conversations we had and watching training yesterday. Who sets the tone in these first few minutes could be really important.
And who gets the first goal? We could not have heard Paul Riley say that enough. It is so important they score first.
Takeaway by the Thorns is going to get it to Nadim in the box. Boy, that could have been a disastrous start for Western New York.
As we just got done talking about who is going to score the first goal, and a turnover in their own defensive third of the field, and Sam Mewis comes through with those long legs and a slide tackle and saves the day.
Nadim, 9 goals on the season. And it'll be the NWSL assist leader, Tobin Heath, to take the corner. Left-footed ball bounces right back to Heath. And it'll be a second quick corner to start things off for the Thorns.
She tried that short corner, I shouldn't say a short corner, a near post corner, and it took a funny skip. A tough bounce for Western New York to try to handle on that near post.
Marco Vega, our referee today, already having some conversations with positioning and a little physicality perhaps on this corner kick. Much better service this time from Heath. That headed out of bounds. Corner kick number 3 on the way.
When you can see the battle for the positioning right in front of the goalkeeper, in front of D'Angelo, and that's what the ref is keeping an eye on. Nadim is holding her hands out, but who has the right to that ground? Hinkle can step in there in the middle too, so, but at the same time, you don't want to be shielding your keeper from being able to come off her line.
Heath will try it again. So many tall targets. Really, both of these teams excellent in terms of what they can throw in there on set pieces.
Oh, Hinkle had time to take a little bit of a touch there, but
instead it'll go right back to Portland. Nadim on the ball. D'Angelo was way off her line. Sinclair gets the shot off. But D'Angelo had recovered enough that time.
I think she's getting a little antsy back there. With so much action inside of her own 18-yard box, she wants to get that ball out. You could see Sam Mewis after D'Angelo had the ball in her hands. She's putting her hands down and saying, like, okay, guys, let's calm down here. Let's settle in, play our game.
And you talked about it a little bit, Kendra, but it is a very different game these two teams will try to play.
Well, very different in the sense that Western New York loves to pressure in that third of the field in their offensive third, forcing their turnovers and really keeping Portland on their toes. And on the opposite side, you've got Portland, who just possesses the heck out of the ball and finds a way to get in the middle of the field, get it out wide, and then find Sinclair up top. And it's not to say that Western New York can't possess the ball as well. They just possess it in a very different way.
Christine Sinclair, Canada's all-time leading scorer, on the move for Portland. Such composure. Everybody looking for a handball. None called. Hinkle will have time to build out of the back this time.
Well, and they can't focus on that no call too much here. Western New York's going the other way.
McCall Zerboni played in Portland last season, tripped up, and this will be an early free kick chance for the Flash.
Let's take a look here as Sinclair gets the ball, and
oh, no question.
No question, and her arm is away from her body there, so that is a clear handball and a clear foul on the other end. But nonetheless, the handball wasn't whistled. You got to keep playing. And now a dangerous chance here for Western New York.
Portland scored its first goal in the last meeting between these two teams off of a penalty kick. Looked like they should have had one there. Dahlkemper looking far post. McDonald was able to get perhaps the bottom of her cleat on it. Not much she could do with that ball.
But you know who was right behind her? Lynn Williams, getting ready to volley that one out of the air. I have a feeling if McDonald hadn't touched it, Williams was lining that one up. Can't fault McDonald for going for it, though.
No, and those two have been so good together for Western New York this season. Marco Vega, our referee, assisted by Amanda Ross, Benjamin Wooten, and our fourth official, Farad Dodko. Allie Long under some pressure. Sam Mewis really coming in with a tough challenge.
A little bit silly on Sam Mewis right there. I mean, she had Allie Long facing sideways, backwards almost, in her own half of the field. She could have just stepped to her. And Kevin, look at, she had a double team coming there from Williams as well. So maybe a little bit too much. The adrenaline is pumping, I'm sure. And Sam Mewis trying to set the tone in the middle of the field early.
Well, how much does number 10 in red get the ball? That is one thing to watch. As that's a great flick on by Horan. Sinclair trying to get to it, and D'Angelo manages to beat everybody to the ball. Lynn Williams, the Golden Boot winner, trying to turn. Goals on the season for Williams. It's tied with Kalia Ohai from Houston, but Williams had a few more assists, actually one more assist. She had 5, Kalia had 4. And you see, as those scoring leaders for the regular season, 2 of the top 3 on our field, and the 4th wearing the red jersey on our field here today for Portland. So plenty of firepower between these two teams. Nadim has been such a fantastic addition to this Portland attack this season. Catherine Reynolds will take the long throw. Another good flick from Horan. McDonald is tracked way back for the ball. Zerboni.
That's scary.
Here's Allie Long playing it back.
Right there, Western New York allowed 2 things that Paul Riley said they couldn't do. First, they allowed the ball in the middle, and then they allowed it out the left side. And he said, we do not want that ball going on the left where Tobin Heath is, and of course, Klingenberg as well.
Nice work by Emily Sonnet, rookie defender, U.S. national team member.
Mark Parsons told us yesterday, we have to weather the storm. The storm is coming, we have to weather it. But right now you feel like it's a little role reversal. Western New York is weathering the storm here that Portland is putting on to start this match.
Not a good ball there from Alana Kennedy. She knew it. Now Mark Parsons admitted too, I think I'm going to be a little bit stressed on the sideline there. So much on the line. He knows what this team is capable of. McDonald just couldn't get the touch she wanted on that ball from Zerboni, so it'll go back to Portland. Reynolds, searching ball, but it'll get to D'Angelo. Western New York trying to work up that right side. Now they will get it to Mackenzie Doniak.
When you saw Liz Eddy having a conversation with the referee there, she felt like there was a little bit of a tug from Tobin Heath. And Coach Riley flat out said they don't like each other. And I said, literally, or, you know, I think it's just, he said last game they niggled each other a lot.
He's got some interesting word choice for sure.
Doesn't sound as good when I say it.
Western New York in the box. Williams had the volley, but too high. And if you remember at all the way that this match went 3 weeks ago here in Portland, I know you'd agree that Western New York and the storm they brought early, really, it looked as though Portland were on their heels and Western New York a little unlucky maybe not to have gotten a goal out of that. And then just like that, Portland turned it on, had a ball where they got in behind, foul in the box, Nadine penalty kick, and they just took it from there. Klingenberg working with Sinclair. He's on that dangerous side with Tobin Heath. Allie Long. Reynolds. Heath making a diagonal run through there.
The communication in the midfield and the back line for Western New York has to be fantastic. If you watch the movement off the ball on these players for Portland, it is unbelievable.
Tough to defend as Reynolds sends it in.
Well, they can go anywhere they want in exchange. You know, I mean, Tobin Heath, she's in the middle, and Nadine moves into this, you know, into the up top position. Reynolds goes up the right flank. The pieces are so versatile. It's tough to defend.
Reynolds to Haran. Doniak just clears it.
She had Eddie making a run there off her right shoulder. Probably could have just played it out wide to keep possession.
Klingenberg trying to get behind with Haran, who is offside.
Probably a good thing because it was 2-on-1 over there too.
You talk about all those moving parts and talented attacking players for Portland. And it's one of the reasons I think everyone here in Portland told us they've been playing so well now, because they have taken this entire season to figure one another out. How is Lindsay Haran going to work in her first season in NWSL? How is Nadine going to play with Sinclair up top? They've had a lot of changes to this Portland team, and they feel like they've hit their stride. They've won 4 in a row. Megan Klingenberg telling me yesterday she felt like they are playing some of their best soccer right now.
Well, and again, with the Olympic break in the middle of the field, or in the middle of the season.
They've weathered through that, and then you see on their 4-game winning streak what they've done, scoring at least 3 goals in each of those games. Allie Long, the NWSL Player of the Month, had 5 goals and an assist in that stretch. McDonald has a nice long throw-in. Goes to Abby Urseg, the New Zealand captain. A little miscommunication from the Portland defense, but Michelle Betos is there to calm everybody down and collect the ball.
Well, in Western New York getting what they wanted out of this throw from McDonald. A nice flick on, gets it right, bouncing inside that box. Some confusion, and Williams just couldn't get to it.
Allie Long has Tobin Heath making a run, perfectly timed. Heath, ball across the box. Good job defensively. Jaylene Hinkle got back where she needed to be.
And she just played it safe, getting out over the end line. As soon as Eddie went to step here, I saw Tobin Heath checking back. You see Allie Long and their chemistry and the vision. That ball was going to be trouble. And Eddie has got to be smart. Try not to be too aggressive and trying to jump that route by Tobin Heath, because she's going to get beat in behind.
You can see why Paul Riley was concerned about Heath in that matchup on that side. 4th corner of the game for Portland. Floating right in the middle where it is headed away by Mewis. But back to Heath. Chance for a secondary ball. Saw Washington Spirit score their first goal in the match on Friday night on a secondary ball off of a corner kick. Allie Krieger, the captain for Washington, was able to make a beautiful run and finish it off. Looks like an absolutely packed house here once again, as it so often is in Providence Park. Fans in Portland loving their Thorns.
And it poured rain all morning. It was like the skies parted just in time for this game to at least give us a dry one. Not that that would have deterred the fans around here.
Sinclair and Zerboni a little tied up. Hinkle is going to try to get to McDonald. So now we'll see that throw in from McDonald on the other side. And they will bring in Urseg again, number 6. Abby Urseg, one of the targets in the air, 5'10". She got her head to the ball last time, and then that's what you want if you're Western New York. Give those other players like Lynn Williams a chance to come onto it. Zerboni had a chance. Now Mewis, and she's got the goal! Sam Mewis puts Western New York up.
Unbelievable. Against the run of play, they take advantage of that long throw. McDonald launches this one in, and Urseg doesn't really get her head on it, but it's enough for a distraction. Zerboni mishits it, and how about the half volley from Sam Mewis? We were talking about this earlier, the fact that McDonald and Lynn Williams have over 50% of their goals. Somebody else might have to step up today, and it's Sam Mewis.
6th goal of the season for Mewis. And how important is that, Kendra, that early goal for this Western New York team on the road?
Early goal, we said Paul Riley must have said it 1,000 times yesterday. Doesn't make a difference necessarily. I mean, you can't let up. You can't change the way you're playing, but holy cow, on the road in front of this crowd, just absolutely.
A little confidence.
Absolutely, especially the way they were getting pounded here to start the half. They were the ones having to weather the storm from Portland. So to come the other way, really the second time they've even gotten into that offensive third and put one away.
You know how important early goals can be actually for both of these teams this season, unbeaten when they have scored first. Western New York, 7 wins, 1 draw when they've gotten the first goal in the match. We talked a lot about how they come back because they did that a lot late in the season, but they also did very well when they had a chance to get up early. Portland looking for a quick answer. Heath.
Whoa, a little ambitious, but we knew they were going to serve some long balls in.
And this one's going to hold up there in the corner. Betos will have to just come and clear it away. And not a good clearance, as she will go back to her goal.
Take another look at this throw, and I think Parsons might have been complaining here. He went straight to the 4th official and seemed upset. But I'm not sure what he would have been upset on that one. I mean, that looked, unless it was a previous, you know, sometimes when they get scored on, the coach will go back 2 or 3 plays about a missed call or a whistle or something that led to the throw in the first place. It's tough to say.
Remember, there was a handball not called in the box on the Western New York defense early that would have given Portland a penalty kick.
But then when we were talking to Riley yesterday, he said it was going back to their dodgy penalty that the Thorns had in their favor last game. So nobody's ever happy, right? I'd hate to be an official.
Oh, I know. He right along that far sideline. It's Klingenberg making a run. Klingenberg trying to sneak through, just bodied off of the ball. That's a dangerous touch defensively, though, as Heath gets back to it and loses it.
I think Dahlkemper has to be a little bit sharper in that center back position, because Urseg does a good job there. Maybe a little bit of an arm extension, but then she one-touches it back to Urseg in traffic with Klingenberg right on her, instead of, that's where you just need that big clearance, get it out of pressure. because Klingenberg is going to continue to make those runs forward as much as she can and try to get around that end line.
And remember, there is still a lot of youth and relative inexperience on this Western New York team. Hinkle. Mewis. Paul Riley will tell you, or at least he certainly told his team, look, we got nothing to lose. You go in there and play like all of the pressure is on Portland, because he told us frankly earlier in the season, nobody expected this Western New York team to come and do what they've done this season and even be in contention. And yet, here this young group of players is. McDonald's throw, again targeting Urseg. Lindsey Horan comes away with it. Immediately challenged, and there is a whistle. That's Mackenzie Joniak.
And she's not happy with that call. I think she maybe wanted, again, going back to the previous contact before she committed the foul. This is just a passionate, I mean, these two teams have so much respect for one another and how they play, and so competitive.
Nice touch from Horan to Sinclair. Nadim is on the shot and the big save. D'Angelo coming up huge, but not over yet. He left-footed shot, and now Sabrina D'Angelo can breathe a sigh of relief for a moment.
Wow. There goes that movement again, in behind. You cannot lose track of Nadim. Somebody's got to be keeping an eye on her. And then that second ball, how about the clearance?
Lynn Williams leading the charge the other way for Western New York. She is so fast. Not a lot she could do. Was trying to work with Zerboni, but at least did get another throw-in attempt here for McDonald. Urseg will trot into the box. She has been the target for McDonald on the last few throw-ins. She helped on the goal, and it again goes toward Urseg at the near post.
First, that slotted ball through. Nadim sneaks in behind with that movement. A huge save. Gives up quite the rebound, but that is not a good clearance by McCall Zerboni. I don't blame her for just playing the way you're facing, but gotta lift it a little bit, because then Tobin Heath had a pretty good chance after that.
And McCall, one of the more veteran players on this Western New York team. She was really a heart and soul of the Flash a couple of years ago. She returns to the team where she spent 2013 and 2014 after playing here in Portland last year. Williams. And that's good defending by Emily Menges. Nadim through Horan. Heath, flag is up. So close.
Wasn't by much.
You called it, Kendra. That back line for Western New York has really got to be on their toes, aware not only of where everyone is, but of the runs that are coming at them.
Well, and yesterday when we talked to head coach Paul Riley, he must have told us, 13 different scenarios of runs that can be made in behind by different players of Portland if they don't keep an eye on it. And you can see it already.
Second NWSL Semifinal of 2016, an entertaining one so far, as the Western New York Flash are charging once again. They lead the Portland Thorns, the regular season champs, 1-0. Doniak service into the box. Far post for McDonald, and it is out of bounds on Portland. First corner kick of the match coming for Western New York.
And how about the final effort there by McDonald? Just long enough, just diving to get a piece of her head on it. And in doing so, she gets a corner kick.
And she has told us, 6 feet tall, her height absolutely something she has used to her advantage throughout her career, and she's a journeywoman through this league. Western New York, 5th team in 4 years for McDonald and NWSL, but having a fantastic year. 10 goals, 7 assists. Gotta think they're looking for McDonald, and they are on that service. Zerboni touches it out to Doniak, and Betos won't have any traffic as she snags it out of the air. Betos, a finalist for the award she won last year, NWSL Goalkeeper of the Year. Playing behind the best defense and is a big part of the best defense in the league this season. It's 19 goals allowed by Portland during the regular season. Some pressure for Sonnet. Plays it back to Betos. Armandine Henry also in that midfield this season for Portland.
And just another key piece for Portland, but she doesn't get mentioned that often when you're surrounded by Allie Long, Nadia Nadim, you've got Christine Sinclair, then Lindsay Horan joins the team. But Henry, another very important piece.
Now Mark Parsons spoke very highly of her and the influence she can have in the midfield. This is just her 9th start of the season, 10th appearance. Actually, the first match she ever played this season was June 17th against the Western New York Flash. Williams just hanging around enough, applying a little bit of pressure on that back line for Portland. Henry has it blocked by Zerboni.
Well, and you could see her point to the midfield. That she only had one option. It was go to the middle of the field. There was a big space there, but nobody checking to help her out.
Sonnet looking back central as Allie Long has dropped deep to try to play make. Heath pretty deep as well, and there's that pressure that Western New York will apply. Ursay, they come in numbers, but if you can break that pressure, Mark Parsons said, that's where they feel like they can really gain an advantage, get past that first line, right?
And Paul Riley agreed. He told us the same thing. If they can break that first line, that was our weakness in our last matchup against them. They've got so many talented players going forward. If they can break our first line of pressure, we're in a bit of trouble.
Not a good touch from Kennedy, who then fouls and will give a free kick, and she'll get a card.
And Sinclair still on the ground, looking to be in a bit of pain, and everybody holding their breath.
Christine Sinclair, what an incredible player she has been, both internationally and in NWSL.
She get her with a bit of studs here, because you know what? A little bit on that follow through, maybe a little bit of cleat on that ankle. Kennedy probably frustrated with that poor first touch.
Sinclair back up. Tobin Heath over the ball. A lot of movement going on. Mewis won it for Western New York initially. Reynolds will send it right back into Long. Sinclair tries to back pass, but can't get it through. McDonald. Boy, Reynolds really had to play that quickly with McDonald on her back. Now it's back to Long. Nadim. Klingenberg and Eddie. Somehow, some way, Portland trying to play this the way they want to play it and find some openings in those lines between the Western New York pressure. Henry. Sonic gets it to Nadine. Long. Look at the space out wide for Horan. Horan against Eddy. Klingenberg. Heath. Nadim still on it. Very patient here from Portland. Allie Long takes the shot right at D'Angelo. All that work. And you figure maybe wanting a little bit something better at the end.
Well, I was trying to keep track of how many passes Portland had connected there before that first ball in on the cross. And not a bad look and a good opportunity. She just hits it dead center. And credit to Western New York because they stayed patient, didn't dive in, almost got caught with a slide tackle by Zerboni, but they recovered.
Zerboni on the ball now. To Mewis, the goal scorer. Lynn Williams has it in the middle, takes the shot, and the save from Betos.
If I'm Portland, I'm going and giving Betos a high five right here. Look at this slotted ball through. Lynn Williams takes one touch. Not a great shot, but nonetheless a diving save by Betos from close range from Williams. Somehow she sneaks in between that Portland defense.
Michelle Betos denying the Golden Boot winner, but giving up a corner. Service coming toward Betos again, and she has it. Betos has the all-time record for saves at Portland. That one, maybe one of the biggest. Turnover will get it to Urseg. Now Mewis. Doniak with Eddy making an overlapping run. There is the ball, but not the best. Doniak's pass a little off. That's going to give it back to Portland. Klingenberg has Sinclair in the middle, but that ball's not going to work out.
Well, and a rarity that the three on that side aren't maybe on the same page. I mean, that rarely happens when you've got Sinclair and Klingenberg and Heath all on that same side trying to combine.
Nadim heads it down. Finds Sinclair. What a touch to get past the traffic. Nadim saw something. Manages, even with a little bit of a deflection, to find Klingenberg. Long will switch it back over to Reynolds. Reynolds. Back and forth it goes. Touch by Sinclair. Offside flag is up.
That was the second ball here. Watch this header right there. And lucky for Western New York, they've got to be careful. I mean, clearly you want to step and try to force that offside when you've got those players like that trying to sneak in behind, but can't be too reliant on the sideline official to make that right call.
Western New York turns it over through the good work of Horan. A little flare on the pass on the side. Why not? Heath. It's really just Tobin Heath here as she goes down hard and earns the free kick. Western New York disagrees. Let's see what you think. You know,
I think that's a tough one. I think she, you know, when someone's going at that pace, and she did get a step on her. Heath had a half a step on her. If they would have been more even shoulder to shoulder, I'd say that's a no call, but she got enough in front of her. If you touch someone's foot just a tad and, you know, trip them up like that, it doesn't take much when you're going at that speed.
Yeah, and in real time, she did
In
hit
real
the ground
time,
hard.
yes.
That initial free kick deflected by Western New York. So they now have a chance for a counterattack. Doniak trying to cut in past Menges, gets it to Williams off the crossbar. Mewis can't keep her feet. Heath is going to take her time here. Didn't like her options going the other way, but don't think she wanted to do that either.
What a sequence of events. First of all, this ball in by Doniak. She beats her defender on that side. Lynn Williams, crossbar. And then you see Sam Mewis on that next play. She tries to get it out, trips on the ball. Heath goes the other direction. And a clear foul on that one. Just the back and forth of this game.
Some excellent chances on both sides. So far, Western New York, the only one to break through. They practiced this a lot in training yesterday. Williams couldn't quite get up to it. Now it's Kennedy, excuse me. Alana Kennedy came in. That'll be a goal kick for Portland. Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon weekdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, only on FS1.
McDonald again with this long throw. Urseg heading into the box for the flick. Even if she doesn't get her head on it, she attracts so much attention and draws a couple defenders. It opens somebody up like it did on the first goal.
Once again, it goes toward Urseg, but Lindsey Horan right there with her. Zerboni gets it back. Urseg is down, shot from McDonald. Looking far post, and it's in! Doniak has given Western New York a 2-goal lead.
And it started with the long throw once again by Jess McDonald. If she's not getting it done with the goals, she's getting it done with these long throws, helping out her team. Watch this play again. Urseg comes out, she gets a little shove there by Horan, but then watch the trip. I think maybe a little bit of an intentional trip. Now, I don't think that causes the goal. There was 2-3 more passes after that play, but there was no whistle. First, Urseg gets a little shove by Horan, and then right here, that's a pretty clear trip.
Well, that explains why the crowd's been booing so profusely recently.
But it's hard because then, you know, what do you call the first push, the second trip, you know, maybe they cancel each other out and you just keep playing and then you get a goal on the far side.
Sinclair's gonna turn, and Christine Sinclair with the quick response for Portland.
Look at the long ball. Floated in over the top. Christine Sinclair. Maybe a little bit of a nudge. Spins around. And a volley gives Portland 1 goal back.
What a smooth move by a veteran right there. And Christine Sinclair, she used the pressure, felt Kennedy on her back, didn't even go up in the air for it. Turned around and got herself a look, which she made sure not to miss. 7th goal of the season for Christine Sinclair.
Well, and then Paul Riley was upset about the shove, but to be honest, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I thought she just played it perfectly. She shielded the ball. If you're Kennedy, you're going to have to expect some contact there.
Oh, Paul Riley has just been ejected from this game. Being told he actually ran into the fourth official and is now going to have to leave. Wow. So the former coach of the Portland Thorns, now with the Western New York Flash, ejected after the Thorns answered less than a minute after Western New York's last goal. Does this feel like the playoffs to you?
Wow, it feels like a final. Can you imagine the feeling that Washington is having watching this game? I mean, they probably can't wait for next week to come soon enough, watching the emotion and the energy of this match.
They're saying just go ahead and wear yourselves out, whoever makes it to Houston.
I don't even want to be the fourth official today. I think he's had more conversations with both of these coaches than anybody. Even after Riley got ejected, then the fourth official walks over to Parsons and he's still having a conversation about the previous trip on the last goal.
And
Look at
that last goal from Sinclair.
Beautiful. One touch, right-footed volley. Maybe a little bit of contact, but I don't think it's anything that needs to be whistled, and Kennedy has to expect that contact.
No question, and that's a little bit of a lazy ball, but it does get back to D'Angelo. I mean, how huge was that response? Less than a minute after going down 2 goals. Portland saw an opening with Sinclair. Yes, they like to build, but they know they have that option too.
Ref's going to whistle this one back on the previous contact.
As much as you play with passion and intensity, you also have to realize when you need to rein it in a little bit and keep your composure.
Absolutely. I think both of these sides right now have to do that. A little bit of a check. Don't let the physicality get away from you. Don't commit any silly fouls. Whoops.
Sinclair. Lynn Williams, the one to get back to her first, and she gives it back to Western New York. Zerboni and Reynolds beats her to the ball.
Thumbs up from Zerboni. A nice ball in, and she forces the turnover. And also the ejection or the throwing out of Paul Riley can, that can do one of two things really to his side. Let's see if it motivates him and puts a spark under them even more.
McDonald's throw has been lethal. Urseg the one to keep it moving in the box as she tries to this time. Hinkle, that left foot, such a valuable weapon for the Flash this season. Heath tripped up. Pass off the mark from Henry. Nadine took a little too much time, but gets it back.
A little too ambitious, I think, on that one. There's times where Allie Long could just put that 50, 60-yard ball on a dime, but she was falling backwards.
Urseg can't get to it before Heath does. Nadine. I feel like these Urseg-Heath encounters are going to be fun to watch as this match goes on.
There's a few of them on the field. Don't you feel like it?
McDonald trying to get to this ball first. Betos aggressively comes out. And yes, I do. Several of them involving Heath.
Because she's so dang tricky with the ball at her feet. I think it drives the opponent crazy. When you're trying to defend that, You even asked her teammates yesterday, do you guys feel like she's going, you know where she's going with the ball now, because it takes a little while.
10 assists for Heath. NWSL record. She had 4 assists in their recent 4-game winning streak.
Good hustle there.
Kennedy. Urseg and Ewis have to communicate and do. Hinkle trying to keep it away from Henri. One minute of stoppage time will be added on to this first half. Minimum of 1 minute. Henri will win it for Portland. Slide tackle from Zerboni. Gives it back to Henri, but just past the outstretched toe of Christine Sinclair. So far, the center backs have held strong on that back line for Portland against the threat of McDonald and Williams trying to get in behind. It's really been when they've reset with the long throw-ins from McDonald that Western New York has been the most dangerous. And indeed, the Flash with a 2-1 lead on the road after the first half of action.
Well, it's what we were expecting, it's what we were hoping for, and we're getting it so far here in the first half. A lot of it attacking, a lot of excitement and drama.
And we are now joined by Portland head coach Mark Parsons. Coach, you told us yesterday you knew there would be a storm coming from Western New York. I think we saw that. How do you feel like your team weathered it?
Well, we haven't quite weathered it, have we? As we conceded 2 goals. You know, their threats from set pieces and long throws, we knew it was coming, and we're trying to manage some gamesmanship that's going on off the ball that isn't being managed by the people it should be, and we'll set up there at half-time to take care of some of that stuff. But we can be a lot better with the ball, so we haven't hurt them the way we should. We've got to take care of their dangers and their threats, but let's try and put them on the back foot. We can be cleaner with our ball movement, we can be sharper with our movement, and we can hurt them. There's gaps behind that back line, and I think we can get our dangerous players in there like we did with Sink. We've got more opportunities to get a goal.
Coach, thank you so much.
Cheers.
Great to hear from Mark Parsons, head coach of the Thorns. His team currently trailing Western New York. Coming up at halftime, NWSL Commissioner Jeff Plush will stop by, plus first half highlights and stats. What a first half we had here in Portland. The Western New York Flash took a 2-0 lead, but the Thorns came back to answer. It's a 1-goal game as we get set to head to the second half of the second NWSL semifinal. Glad to have you along with us here in Providence Park, joining Kinder de St. Aubin. You think I'd get that right by now. And me, Jen Hildreth. We're pleased to have NWSL Commissioner Jeff Plush along with us. What did you think? That's a pretty good showing right there.
Yeah, that was an exciting first half. I was just saying when we were off air, I was afraid I was going to miss something just walking over here. So goals and cards and all such posts. So it was an exciting first half. Really pleased. Fantastic. 19,000 people in the building. Wonderful last semifinal.
Well, and not only that, but we talk about the atmosphere here in Portland. What is your thought just in general on the league and the growth and the fan support all around?
Look, we're excited for all of our growth across the league. Nothing's like Portland. It's such a special environment here. We were remarking earlier, there's no other place in the world where you've got TIFO like that at a women's game with 19,000 people in the building. So incredibly excited, energized for what the future holds for us. We talk about our 5th year and 6th, 7th year. We're not thinking about not making it. We have so much interest from other players coming from abroad, so we're really bullish on our future.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the future because, of course, the conversation coming into this season, never had a women's professional league in the U.S. make it to year 4. So, yes, we got that. What are you looking at? What are some of the things that you'll be discussing top of the table getting ready to head into next season?
Well, look, I think even just when we were in Washington the other night talking to Jill a little bit, she's so pleased with the league. It continues to grow. We have to continue to get better, reinvest in our players, reinvest in more coaching opportunities for coaches and players who want to move to that next phase in their career. You think about players who want to come from abroad, it just raises the level of play. We will expand at some point in the future. We look to continue to build out our technical opportunities and just make our experience better for our players. You look at players like Ali Long, who've used this league as a platform, like Crystal Dunn. So I'm excited about what we've done so far, but there's always more to do. And as you guys know, the quality of the product is fantastic, and that's what we just hang our hat on.
Well, there's always a nice little give and take there between the professional league and, of course, the national teams and the federations. It's fun to see that all sort of mesh together. Speaking of the atmosphere here and maybe some of the stadiums that have a little bit bigger of a fan attendance, any thought in the future of changing where the final will be, if it's consistently in a location because of the fan support, or will it continue to bounce around?
Well, look, I think we'll always look at anything that makes the league strongest possible, the best possible platform. This is a phenomenal atmosphere, obviously. You know, we're bringing other clubs on. When you bring a club like Orlando on, they're building a new stadium. So that future holds a lot of brightness for us. I think Houston's going to be fantastic next week. And so we'll evaluate it. We're not yet ready to have every club be the home hosting. You know, we're not have this kind of attendance in a lot of our markets yet. So we'll keep working on it, but this gives you a lot of excitement and lets you dream about what could be happening in the future for our league.
Can't wait for the second half here. I know you'll be enjoying it. We'll see you next week too in Houston.
Absolutely, I look forward to it.
Well,
85 they say. So.
Yes, okay. Well, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you will join us next Sunday in Houston as well. BBVA Compass Stadium, site of the 2016 NWSL Championship. The Washington Spirit will be there, plus the winner of this game. First half highlights coming up after the break. (2-1) our score at the half in this NWSL semifinal between the Portland Thorns and the Western New York Flash. The Flash getting ahead after the first 45 minutes of action. What a first 45 it was, and that throw-in from Jessica McDonald, really dangerous.
Well, and maybe a bit of against the run of play here, but Western New York taking advantage. A beautiful volley by Sam Mewis, giving them the 1-0 lead, and then another long throw-in. Well, here's another look at that half volley. Flat-footed, just puts that one away.
And then again, off the throw-in from McDonald in the 38th minute. It's often the ball that bounces around and stays alive, and that's exactly what Western New York does here. McDonald sends it back in, and this time it's Mackenzie Doniak. But it would be a short-lived 2-goal lead.
Very short-lived, because a long ball in, over the top. Christine Sinclair with a little bit of a bump, but nothing malicious, and a right-footed volley on that beautiful turn. 2-1 heading into the half.
Christine Sinclair with a huge goal to keep this a 1-goal game. You see 2-1 our score at the half. Shots were even between the league's top 2 scoring teams. We're expecting a lot more fireworks in half number 2. Stick around. We welcome you back inside Providence Park. Second half of this NWSL semifinal just about to get started. Portland Thorns trailing the Western New York Flash by 1. Portland, the regular season champions, winners of the Shield for the first time, hosting a playoff match for the first time here in Providence Park. But finding themselves down a goal against a very aggressive Western New York team that led the league in scoring this season.
The sunshine coming out. Just get a good feeling about this second half. The first one couldn't have been more entertaining. Even Coach Parsons said to us yesterday, he wishes he was neutral in this, because he'd love to just sit back and watch this game, but he knew he was going to be nervous because of the pressure and the intensity and the anticipation. I'm glad we get to be neutral and sit back and enjoy this game.
Absolutely. Portland 2-0 this season against Western New York, but we saw the Flash fight back. 2 late goals the last time. McDonald gets in behind from her strike partner Williams 21 goals between those two this season as Zerboni does a little dance, spins around, and eventually puts the ball into the gloves of Michelle Betos. And we talked about the two varying styles for these two teams, the way they go about things. But we also need to remember they're both so skilled, capable of going about it a different way if that's what is presented. And that's really how Portland got the goal, through Christine Sinclair. They looked a little more direct. Quick ball, trying to get her in behind over the top.
Well, and I think when you're the good teams, their good teams have to switch things up like that. They pass. We saw one time, what did they combine? Maybe 10, 12 passes in a row. But you got to try to counter and catch teams off guard. Don't be afraid to play a direct long ball every once in a while. And that's exactly how Sinclair got that beautiful volley.
And if you're Western New York, you have to figure, other than their head coach Paul Riley being sent off, they got what they wanted in that first half. They got a quick start. They had the first goal in the 16th minute from Ewis, tacked on another one. They have the lead here to start the second half. Now it's a matter of figuring out how to hold off what you know is going to be coming from this Portland team that's not going anywhere. Thorns just 3 losses on the season. I guess we'll play it back to Betos.
Here's that high pressure. Look at.
Ooh. Doniak was there. Urseg trying to get to it. Does. A lot of holding going on. I think both players involved in it. Amandine Henry and Urseg, but the foul will go against Henry. And Mark Parsons frustrated about some of the things going on the field. We heard him talk about it at halftime.
What it looked like right here as Urseg's trying to pull away, shield the ball. Henry might have been doing a little bit too much tugging, but yes, Parsons did mention.
Dahlkemper just takes it herself, but too high.
Parsons mentioned that gamesmanship heading into the half. Kind of looks like, at least to me from up here, that it could be 50-50 on that gamesmanship all over the field. But, you know, coaches are always going to feel it's a little bit more slighted towards the other side.
Zerboni. Megan Klingenberg trying to hold off Doniak. Eddie has it back for Western New York. Just momentarily. Good pressure being applied by Portland here as Tobin Heath is fouled. Gamesmanship there, perhaps, as Elizabeth Eddy getting up and twirling around right in front of the ball, but Klingenberg's going to take her time here anyway. Get the pieces set in front of her. Williams looking for McDonald. Heath and Horan doing some nice work along this near sideline. Horan, Heath sneaking back in there. Sinclair in the vicinity as well. Klingenberg gives it away. McDonald looking for Williams, the Golden Boot winner, plays it off the outside of her foot for Doniak. Mackenzie Doniak to the end line. The cross, Williams, and it dribbles into the gloves of Betos.
Williams with a little smile on her face, but how about the passing play from Western New York to build on this right side and just a little bit behind Williams, so she couldn't get enough on it. Did everything she could just to get her foot on it in the first place. That's why she gave that little grin at the end, but I love that combination play up the right side. Doniak slowly tracking back now.
Eddie impedes the progress of Heath and will be whistled for it.
And right here, Eddie, she's trying to take a good defensive position, but Heath, so good, so unpredictable, clearly had her beat.
It's a tough matchup over there. Elizabeth Eddy, second-year player with the Flash. Never played right back before this season. Now trying to defend Tobin Heath. Well, bending, bouncing ball in by Heath. Scooped up by Sabrina D'Angelo.
Clearly a set play to play that ball in low on the ground. Bending it around the wall, but in. And Allie Long just couldn't catch up to it.
And Heath, with her hands on her knees, really bothered by something. She tries to get moving again. The ball will go back to Western New York.
She still looks like she's trying to figure something out. Don't know if it happened when she took the dead ball or on the prior play, but
D'Angelo, her ball finding its way to Portland. And again, Heath really struggling here. She's going to stay down on the sideline, holding that right knee. You know, talking to the Portland players and asking about Tobin Heath this season. And I think one of the first things Megan Klingenberg said was she's healthy. We've got a healthy Tobin Heath, and you're seeing what she can do. NWSL record for assists. Here comes Mewis in Western New York. Amandine Henry helping out defensively. She needed to. Portland down a man at the moment with Heath being tended to on the sideline. Hinkle sends it in to Barbara Bagos. The header by Doniak. Oh my goodness, that save!
wow. Betos moving across the face of her goal to get back. First of all, Hinkle with a nice run up that left side. Beautiful ball in. Look at the movement by Betos and the positioning to make that save and then hang on to the ball.
Wow.
Great header by Doniak, but Betos just saving the day.
What did you say that Mark Parsons told you it was going to come down to who played the best defense in this game? Absolutely spectacular save there from Betos. She's done that a couple of times. She had a big save in the first half as well. As Tobin Heath returns, the crowd lets her know they appreciate it. The attacking caliber of both these teams, you know both goalkeepers are going to have to come up big. Already seen Betos and D'Angelo do it a couple of times. Betos in particular. Hinkle again working the ball. She's been good when she's gotten into the attack.
Tobin Heath still looking a little hesitant. Yelled over to her head coach when she stepped back on that she was going to give it a shot. So I know all the fans and her teammates would love to see her out here for the rest of the second half.
No doubt about that. Special player Tobin Heath is, both on the international level and especially this season, getting to see her show what she can do. Third corner kick of the match. First of the second half for Western New York. Urseg seems to always be in the vicinity of the ball in the air.
Good step by Eddie there to recover after kind of a misplayed ball in.
We're going to try to take a look back, show you where we think the injury may have happened. Watch Heath's right knee.
Yeah, because the collision was on the left knee there. That she actually hit Eddie, so you have to wonder.
Sometimes it's that stabilizing leg that gives you problems. didn't Paul Riley tell us that he was going to ask his team to they worked a lot on this section of the game coming out at the beginning of the second half and being calm and stable and solid, not just flying all over. They've been flying. Portland trying to get the ball into the area. They do. D'Angelo is out. Horan tries to slide and get there. And really the first offensive chance of the second half for Portland.
D'Angelo missed on the punch, and her defender then headed that one out, but it still wasn't out of danger.
Long's ball in. Goes to D'Angelo.
And just a great service, bending away from the keeper. That's why D'Angelo couldn't get to it. And then Nadim tries to get on the end of it, keep it in play. Right there, Eddie in the right spot at the right time to help out.
And I think on the initial ball, she may have actually gotten her head to it too and thrown off D'Angelo a little bit. Zerboni trying to work around. But now it's in the feet of Tobin Heath and Portland. There's that Heath-Urseg matchup again, won by the New Zealand captain.
And that was a good clean tackle.
Not a good ball there, but that one safely headed back by Sonic.
And Heath again, couple little moves on that one, burst of speed. Urseg could see her opportunity. She had to take her chance right there to make a nice tackle.
Good clean steal of the ball there by Urseg. Everybody wanting a flag up.
She wasn't offside though, because Hinkle was tracking Nadim on that far side, kept Sinclair on side. So Western New York gonna have to be careful if they want to try to raise their arm for that offside position. They better be pulling up together.
McDonald. Urseg thinking Doniak. Klingenberg trying to get it out for Portland. Horan a calming touch, helps her. Henry had it for a moment, but it will go to Doniak and the flash. Both McDonald and Williams making runs. Nobody's going to be able to get on the end of that one, though. Well, we mentioned that Western New York head coach Paul Riley sent off in the first half. Acting head coach Scott Vallow patrolling the sideline now for the Flash. We were told that Paul Riley able to address the team at halftime. And you said it at the time, Kendra, it's always an interesting dynamic. In any sport when that happens, it can be a huge momentum shift one way or the other.
Well, and part of it, you know, soccer is probably the game that the coach is involved in the game the least. There are no timeouts. You can't do set plays. The coach isn't yelling in for the most part things from the sideline. It's so much a thinking man's game, a thinking woman's game in the midst of it. You got to solve problems by yourself. You hope you've prepared them enough before the match that they can get the job done without you standing on the sideline.
Horan couldn't quite get that ball. See Mark Parsons. Really enjoyed speaking with him yesterday and talking about his first year after coming to this team from Washington, a team he sure would like to be able to face off against one more time this season, with the Spirit awaiting the winner of this match and next Sunday's NWSL Championship.
What a game that was. We said on Friday night, man, if Sunday's going to be this is any indication of what we're going to see Sunday, bring it on. And I think we've had all of that and more.
Long looking for Nadim. Mewis a little too heavy on that touch as that ball still bounding across the center of the field. Nobody really able to get up to it. You know, for Portland, this is a team trying to snap what has been a rather unlucky stretch for Shield winners in this league. The NWSL regular season champion has never gone on to win the championship. Lynn Williams, look at the speed of Williams, trying to beat her to the ball. And Sonnet just step for step staying with her as best she could.
Wow, Sonnet, an incredible job there. That is not an easy player to stay with step for step. And Beto's coming off of her line at just the right time.
Got two players, and Emily Menges, the other one in the back of that line. Year-end award candidates in NWSL, as is Tobin Heath. Wow, there's a lot of contacts going on in there. Mark Parsons can't believe it.
Beautiful ball in over the top. Tobin Heath with the moves, makes the flick. You can see Dahlkemper trying to stay with her, shielding her off.
Taking her down.
Taking her down.
No call, though. But Heath and the Thorns at it again. Now Henri sending the ball far post for Nadine.
I mean, Tobin Heath with the beautiful flick. So cheeky on that move. Had Dahlkemper beat.
Well, fans, be sure to mark your calendar for the 2016 National Women's Soccer League Championship next Sunday, October 9th at BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston, Texas. Tickets for the NWSL Championship game are on sale now at NWSLChampionship.com, with prices starting at just $20. And like Kendra said a few moments ago, if you're watching this match, if you watched the match in Boyd's, Maryland, between the Washington Spirit and the Chicago Red Stars on Friday, yeah, I'd be getting my tickets right now to go see what this final is going to be like. It's been entertaining, exciting, and passionate soccer. I don't think there's any question Portland is a frustrated team right now for a variety of reasons. One perhaps being the officiating and some of the gamesmanship and bumps that are being taken out there. Mark Parsons said as much at halftime. But this is also a veteran team with a lot of world-class players who know they need to just figure out how to play through that. Christine Sinclair with the huge goal less than a minute after Western New York went up by 2 in the first half. Over to Haran. Heads that down to herself somehow. And then it'll go out for a Portland corner. I don't think you can understate what Lindsay Haran has meant to this team. Great to see her in the NWSL this season. Her first year in the league after playing Paris Saint-Germain last few years. Heath into the box for Long. Now get another corner kick out of it. Corner kick number 6. Bending a little too much that time. Well, tonight, as the MLS playoffs draw near, the Vancouver Whitecaps set their sights on finishing above the red line as they face the Seattle Sounders. Don't miss all the action beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Western New York Flash trying to take down the Portland Thorns for the first time this season, as they are 0-2 against this Portland team. And the Thorns trying to fight back here. Dahlkemper does enough defensively.
You can see both players going down for the slide there, getting right up.
He finds an open Horan. Lindsey Horan still with the ball, dancing, trying to get past Dahlkemper.
There's one thing you don't want to do on defense is get split, because all of a sudden that opens up a whole lot of space, and Horan did well there to find it. Dahlkemper recovered, played safe, and out the end line.
Got to keep an eye on Allie Long here. She and Heath have connected quite a bit lately. Oh, that ball again, maybe bending a little bit too much.
Well, Sonnet making that run to the near post, and Heath there, that's 2 times in a row. Looks like that's where she's aiming. Sonnet, one of the shorter players on the team, so maybe unexpected for the opponent. Tries to flick that one on.
Yeah, great point. And Sonnet did really well just to even keep that ball in play. Western New York making a substitution. Taylor Smith, the rookie out of UCLA, will come on for Doniak, who at the moment has the goal standing as the game winner. Doniak's goal in the 38th minute has Western New York in the lead.
Well, Smith, a definite spark off the bench for this Western New York Flash side.
And there she is on the ball immediately. Ton of speed. Little dribbler in the area. That's just what Western New York needs up top, more speed, right?
Exactly. That's just exactly what Portland's going. Oh, man.
Eddie in a tight space.
Mew is just so smart. Right there, she took a look. She could have played it, tried to play it through.
Hinkle to McDonald.
To Hinkle on the first ball switch field, but there was 1 or 2 players in between her. Play it back, play it safe, and then switch it out the other side. Never trying to force it and turn it over in the middle of the field.
Mew is called into the U.S. national team for their last couple of friendlies. Dahlkemper under some pressure from Horan. Well done by McCall Zerboni there. Excellent work to keep the ball in. Will she be rewarded for it? Smith making a run with those fresh legs off the bench for the Flash. Back central. The shot. Betos again. Is Western New York just cool and calm, and Zerboni, after all that work, she gets to take this shot.
That was a weird little shot. I don't know. She takes a touch. It's almost like she lofted it, chipped it up that corner, like it fooled Betos or had some funky spin on it, because it wasn't laser shot up there.
Credit Betos for not only saving the ball, but keeping herself from banging her head on the post.
And Zerboni started that fantastic play on that left flank, on left side.
Service driven. Alana Kennedy, the Australian international, once again, she often is a target on those types of set pieces. And now Portland will make its first substitution. Dagny Brynjestadter. First year with this Portland team as the crowd lets Nadia Nadim know they appreciate all she has done this season.
Well, and that sub already was probably lined up, but you could see on that last play where Zerboni was making that run on the left flank, Nadim was trying her hardest to track back, and it was like she just lost that next gear. She's been doing a lot of work on the field.
Yep, excellent point.
Smith, slow to get up here. Welcome to the match.
Right.
It might not be the only bumper bruise you walk away with tonight.
Question is, who's going to walk away with that ticket to the championship in Houston? Ball still bouncing around dangerously in the area. Henri clipped from behind by Mewis, who just calmly keeps on running.
She knew.
Yeah,
she wasn't going to argue that one.
You know, you said welcome to the match for Taylor Smith, who was maybe kind of banked up, and then Dagny Brynjestadter, you're going to look at Henri there, but Dagny Brynjestadter, who just came in for Portland, you may remember last time, I think it was one of her first touches when she came off the bench against Western New York, had a goal. That put Portland up 3-0 in that match.
It's always nice to have a spark off the bench. Taylor Smith is that for Western New York, and Brynja Stoddard, at least the last game we saw, was that way for Portland.
There is Smith. You could tell that Paul Riley really thinks a lot of Smith and what she'll be able to do in the future. Actually started her in the last match at outside back against Boston. That was the last match of the regular season. Western New York needed it. Needed a point there at least to get into the playoffs. Crowd not liking how long it is taking Abby Dahlkemper to get over and take this corner.
I don't blame him. 73rd minute. Clock is ticking.
Now the service from Dahlkemper. Heath had it for a moment for Portland. No scoring in the second half. All three of our goals coming in the first half. Samantha Mewis in the 16th minute, Mackenzie Doniak in the 38th minute. Western New York led it 2-0 at that point, and then Christine Sinclair with a quick answer in the 39th minute brought us to our current scoreline of 2-1. And both of these teams have been excellent this season when scoring first, unbeaten in fact. A little bit more of an uphill battle when they've had to come from behind.
Unbeaten when they've scored first, but Western New York definitely with the more experience from having to come from behind.
Yes, look at Williams. Gets around it this time, looking for some help. Smith is there. Hinkle will step in.
But you get the feeling with this Portland side, you've talked about the veteran leadership, the players on this roster in front of their home crowd.
Hinkle's service, looking for McDonald. Long. Heath tripped up. Boy, she has been on the ground a lot today.
She's letting the ref know she is not happy about it.
I always talk about the atmosphere here in Providence Park. First time hosting a playoff match in NWSL, and guess what? It's a new NWSL playoff record, over 20,000 on hand for the greatest atmosphere in women's professional soccer in the world.
We were pulling up 2 hours plus before the game, and the crowd standing outside the front gates waiting for them to open this stadium. It was out to the street. Unbelievable fans here.
Henry finds Brynja Stoddard.
Oops.
Yeah, they were trying to connect, but then really Zerboni has been so active on that side for Western New York. A little incidental contact. The referee's going to say play on, as he should, with Lynn Williams with the ball and the shot, but right to Betos.
It's like Zerboni took some sort of energy drink at halftime, and she was on her toes in the first half, but the second half she's made some of these runs. I don't know where she found this renewed spark.
She's been fantastic the last few minutes, especially. Mewis to Williams.
I think it's really a battle of wills when you get late in these games to find the energy to go forward, because you're doing so much work defensively. You know if they counter, you've got to get back, and you're going to be making those long runs on the outside. So it's a mental battle to decide to make those runs forward when you're just getting to the point of exhaustion.
Well, I think we saw beautiful examples of that from both teams on Friday, as another hard foul in the middle of the field will put Haran down on the grass here at Providence Park, and our referee Marco Vega immediately calling for some attention.
And I think that one was Dahlkemper A little bit of a shove there as they both go up for that 50-50 header. And Haran is so tough, so good in the air. It's not the first time she has hit the deck tonight.
Tobin Heath stands over the ball for Portland. Thorns looking for the equalizer. Brynja's was just issued a yellow card, by the way.
I think he just took out another yellow, though.
2 yellow cards were just issued. One we know is to Dagny Brynja's. There is a lot of shoving and elbowing going on. Heath, service. D'Angelo's out. The ball's still in the box. Sonnet with the equalizer.
Tobin Heath serving the ball in. D'Angelo comes off her line, cannot hang on to it. Sonnet with the finish. Right here, how about that save by Zerboni on the first attempt with the foot, but Sonnet on the back post ties this game up. And look at the excitement. Unbelievable.
I do believe Emily Sonnet is going to remember her first career NWSL goal, because that was it.
Well, and then the official immediately surrounded by 4 white jerseys, unhappy about something on that goal, but what a finish by Sonnet. She has done a tremendous job in the back tonight. She's got a lot to deal with, chasing Williams down on a couple occasions, and then getting in on that dead ball.
And you know what I loved? She kept playing. As we watched the replay, you could see players from both teams, their hands in the air. There's no foul being called.
Yes.
What's happening? She kept playing the ball and was rewarded for it.
And look at where she starts her run. She's over here on the far right side, outside the 18. Then she loops around and gets it on the other side. She started that run on the far right side, about as far away from the ball as you could get, and just stayed with it.
Sinclair trying to get around Eddie. Being told, by the way, that second yellow card in that sequence went to Abby Dahlkemper of Western New York. So Dahlkemper and Brynja's both with yellows just before that kick was taken, and the goal was scored by Sonnet.
I think both teams, both coaches, everybody has to somehow stop worrying about the referee and the calls that are or are not made, because at some point it's gonna take away from the game. You're gonna be distracted, as we saw. You said it. A couple players holding their arms up on both sides.
Some of that nice combination work. Brynja's with the run and the kick save from D'Angelo. Henry gets the ball in. Mewis goes up. Still some trouble here if you're Western New York, especially with Sinclair and Brynja's right there. Mr. Boney tries to clear it out, but it goes right to the Thorns. Hinkle can't get around long. Now, you talked about all the emotion, frustration. Well, guess what? Now it's an even game. You've got 10 minutes to determine if you're going to be the one going to the NWSL Championship. Both of these clubs have been there before, but there's been a lot of roster turnover for both of them. In fact, they faced each other in the inaugural NWSL Championship game. Portland winning that one. as momentum so often does, seems to have shifted to the home team Thorns in this second half. In this latter half of the second half. Dahlkemper with another hard foul. Remember now, she is on a yellow. She's been pretty physical all day long. And I'm pretty sure that's some version of what Allie Long was just saying to Marco Vega.
And Sinclair too, she was pretty animated. Dahlkemper, then she goes in and states her case that Tobin Heath is backing into her, kind of posting up almost. But it doesn't matter, Dahlkemper, you're on a yellow. So you might have to play a little more cautious because the referee already has his eye on you. You've got to be smart. And Tobin Heath is a very, very smart player. She's going to know where she can draw the fouls, where she maybe needs to take a little bit more of a, not a dive, I don't want to call it a dive because there was clearly some contact there, but she knows what she's doing out there, putting herself in a position to draw a foul.
Remember, the last free kick for the Thorns resulted in the tying goal. Service from Heath, no problem this time though for D'Angelo. What a match. Will 90 minutes be enough to decide this one? It took extra time in our first semifinal on Friday night. Long trying to have that ball hold up for Haran. Eddie clears it out. Haran out to Heath. Time for Tobin Heath. Eddie makes the stop defensively. Smith is going to put that ball in behind. McDonald to do all she can to try to get there. Menges.
Well, did you see Betos? She
All the way
kind of
out.
went, came back,
Yeah.
you know, she hesitated. Her defense did well there. Look at Mark Parsons. I can see him on the sideline here looking at Tobin Heath saying, just calm down, settle down. She wanted that last foul.
Williams near post. Yeah, I think that's been the message from Mark Parsons quite a bit in this match. When we look down there and can see him just below our position here. Settle down. Be patient. Be confident. That ball intercepted by Zerboni for a moment, but Brynja's daughter got it right back. Haran wanting to pick out Heath, who has been more involved, I'd say, in this second half. That was one of the keys to this match for Western New York. Keep it off the side of the field where Heath is. Push it the other direction.
Well, the first half, she was floating in up top and to the other side a lot more. This afternoon, I should say, the second half, she stayed home on the left side. Not floating as freely in the second half. I think by her own choice, and it seems to be working for her.
Long. Now Henry. A little over Sinclair. Newis. Goes back to Western New York. This Portland team, #1 defense in the league in the regular season. So good here at home, keeping opponents out of the back of the net late in matches. Early in the season, they gave up some earlier goals, as this is going to go out to Heath. Henry to Haran. Allie Long with some time. Not the ball she wanted, or not the connection she wanted. You can see her talking with both Brynja's daughter and Sinclair.
Well, she's yelling at Brynjar's daughter to make that run around, and Brynjar's daughter looks at her and says, play to my feet. I'm checking back. So, you know, it's just the passion on the field, and Allie Long clearly passionate when the ball's not sent where she wants it, or vice versa. Someone's not making a run. That's just a competitive, fiery nature.
Now Paul Riley has found himself a seat to take in this game. The head coach for the Western New York Flash sent off in the first half. Well, Mark Parsons said he wished he could sit back and watch it, but I'm guessing that's not exactly how he wished it would have happened for him or for Paul Riley on the other side. Either way, it has been an entertaining match to watch. I don't think anyone would argue that. Should we go to extra time? Reminder, there is no golden goal, so we would have 2 15-minute periods and then head to the penalty kick shootout as Tobin Heath gets the crowd even a little more into it as she gets ready to take this corner kick.
What a great camera angle from the end there to just get a real feel for the stadium and the fans.
Heath on the ground, long charging toward the ball. And my point before was that Portland has been so good not allowing goals late, except Western New York did it to them twice here at home in their last matchup. The Flash scored in the 77th and the 80th minute to make that a 1-goal game. Just couldn't quite come all the way back. Do either of these teams have what it takes to pull out a late goal in regulation and keep it from extra time here?
Another long throw here, so dangerous for Western New York.
And that's what I was talking about. No goals allowed after the 55-minute in the first 7 home matches of the season. So the first 7 matches, 5 goals allowed here at home for Portland. None of them after the 55th minute, but the last 3 all coming late in the game, interestingly. 2 by Western New York. Williams just unable to keep the ball, and Hinkle, unable to keep the ball for Western New York. So Klingenberg has it on the other side now for Portland. Klingenberg connecting, looking for Sinclair. Right back to the Thorns. Heath, don't give her that much time. D'Angelo protecting that near post.
He sees a little window right there, and you see that bending away towards the post.
Heath has Brynjestad on the far side making a run. She delivers it. That'll be another corner kick coming for Portland. Their 9th of the game.
Brynjestad makes that run on that right side, gets in behind Hinkle, just points to where she wants the ball. And if there's anybody who's going to deliver it there, it's Tobin Heath. She put it right in the spot for her to run onto it.
Heath's ball headed toward D'Angelo. Always that game of how far away do you put it from the goalkeeper, yet still have it in a danger enough spot. And Sabrina D'Angelo nabbed it. Final seconds of regulation ticking off the clock here at Providence Park. There will be a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time added. Klingenberg trying to take the throw. Horan can't get it around Urseg, but does get some help from Sinclair. Long trying to prick out Brynjestad. And Brynjestad loses it out of bounds. Dagny Brynjestad, one of 5 players for Portland to have at least 5 goals on the season. Talk about depth for this Thorns team, the only team in the league to make that claim. 5 different players with at least 5 goals, and Brynjestadter coming off the bench a lot of the time. Henri gets it back to Brynjestadter. Henri loses the ball. That's McCall Zerboni once again working hard on that far sideline. Alana Kennedy going to get it up to McDonald. And Sonnet will track it down, keep it moving. For Portland, Betos, watch out. This ball will get in behind Kennedy, but Haran not quite close enough to it. Still, it'll be a throw-in for the Thorns. Good long throw in the box for Brynjestadter.
Stays in.
Heath has Eddie on her back. Gets it through to Klingenberg. Eddie recovers.
Well, and I think Heath and Klingenberg just missed each other by a half step on that pass as Klingenberg was trying to make that run through. Right there. Just a little bit behind her.
Haran is running onto this ball. D'Angelo has to get up and go for it, but gets just enough air, and we're getting close. May hear that whistle soon. Referee Marco Vega with the whistle in his mouth, and there it is. How about it? Both NWSL semifinals in 2016 headed to extra time.
Exactly what we expected, and we're going to see more of it in the extra time. Both teams get a little chance to regroup, catch their breath.
So 90 minutes, once again, not enough in the postseason. You gotta love it. These two teams have been going at it all game long. We're gonna get a little more after this one from Sonnet. Tied it up, extra time on the way. For the first time in NWSL history, both semifinal matches needing extra time to determine a winner. Here's how we got here with this one. 2-2 our score at the end of regulation. And it'll be Western New York could get on the board first.
Well, a long throw by McDonald. No clearance. And Sam Mewis with a left-footed volley puts that one home and puts them up 1-0.
They talked about how important an early goal would be. Well, they got another one in the first half again that started with a throw-in from McDonald.
And she finishes it with a beautiful cross and a volley. Once again, a finish. Western New York 2-0. But it wouldn't be long, would it?
No, Christine Sinclair, after a heads-up play from Catherine Reynolds, picks out the Portland captain, who finishes it off less than a minute later. 2-1 at the time. That's how it stood for quite a while going into the second half. Late in the game, little scrum in front. Emily Sonnet never gives up on it. 77th minute equalizer. And there you go. First time ever. Extra time needed in both of our NWSL semifinals. I don't know about you, but I'm loving it.
And 3 of the 4 goals coming off set pieces, 2 throw-ins, a dead ball, and then that beautiful ball in over the top to Sinclair. Just shows you how important set pieces are in the game of soccer.
So here we go. First extra time period underway from Providence Park in Portland. Taylor Smith and Western New York charging toward the goal right off the bat. Good team defending by the Thorns, but Smith right back to applying pressure. I mean, that's the brand of soccer Western New York wants to play. You just wonder, as the extra minutes tick on, how they can continue to find the effort to play that high pressing style. Alana Kennedy with Haran just behind her. I think you've gotten just about everything you've wanted in the first 90 minutes of this match, other than perhaps a winner. Haven't gotten that yet, but goals, passion, some excellent saves from both goalkeepers.
It's got to be that second ball for Western New York. When they do win it, somebody's got to be there to pick up the second one.
Long will play it back to Sinclair. Henri with some space. Left-footed ball headed away by Dahlkemper. Zerboni working it to Williams. Lynn Williams has had a couple of great chances, looking for the cross this time, but McDonald was in front of it. Mewis was behind it.
Bit of a gap there right now between the midfield and the forwards for Western New York when they do decide to get out. Nobody else besides Williams in the box.
Heath still going strong. Ursegale's out. And Heath laid out.
One Heath again with the moves. She cuts this one, actually touches it around. That's a clean tackle. Ursay got to the ball first.
Hinkle has it right back in the middle. We're awaiting Lindsay Haran. Gets onto the ball. Cheeky little touch central.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a deflection right back to Sinclair. Portland scored on a similar play in the first matchup between these two teams. Henri, Haran. Everybody just seems maybe a little bit step off, and look at Smith with some room to run here. She was a substitute, maybe a bit of fresher legs. Long ball, looking for the 6-foot McDonald.
Oh. Nobody was slowing down on that play.
Betos included.
Exactly. Betos wasn't slowing down. McDonald wasn't letting up. I was waiting for a nasty collision as two competitive players were going to be going for that one. I think you're absolutely right, though, about Smith. She's got the fresher legs.
Haran in behind. Flag is down. Oh, it's up. Excuse me. That flag did come up on Haran that time, as D'Angelo had come way off her line.
Haran just half a step offside, riding that back line. That's why it's so tricky to keep track of Portland, as McCall Zerboni is down.
I noticed her at the end of regulation on the side. She was laying down on the sideline trying to get some extra fluids in. She has been working so hard for her team out there today. It's been a key part of that midfield for Western New York, but it looks like her day will be done. So Zerboni comes off, and Kristen Hamilton making just her 13th appearance of the season. Forward by trade out of the University of Denver. Will come into the match. Some significant minutes here for Hamilton. And this is where, I haven't even mentioned this yet, Leanne Sanderson's injury really could hurt this Western New York team. Such a key piece in the midfield. Sanderson tore her ACL in a friendly against Thailand.
No contact, which we hear so often with ACLs. But they had to change that shape. Went from a diamond to a little more flat. in the midfield. We'll see what Hamilton can do. Only 125 minutes on the season for her. Man, you are really thrown into the fire if you're stepping on the field right now. I don't care how many minutes you played or not played on the season.
Better be
the
ready.
Pace of this game.
Reynolds does keep it in and then bounces it off of Hamilton for a corner. Catherine Reynolds making her third playoff appearance with her third team. She was with the Western New York Flash in 2013 and was with Washington last season. Came over in a trade from the Spirit in the offseason. Thorns have had plenty of opportunities with corners. Will they be able to convert one here? Oh, look at D'Angelo coming out.
Well, she came out on that other one and didn't hang on to it, so she wasn't going to make any mistake this time. As now McDonald back there. Maybe some contact in the box on that last corner. You know the bodies are jostling in there, and she's definitely one of those in charge of marking with that 6-foot frame.
Such a valuable piece to this Western New York team. You know, Paul Riley talking about just feeling like he can't take her off the field as you get another look at that great save from D'Angelo. Maybe something in the collision there with McDonald, but we've seen her long throw-in, how valuable that is. I mean, she has 10 goals on the season, 7 assists, so you know how valuable she is in terms of this attack for Western New York. Paul Riley said, look, I wanted to try to save some minutes for her down the stretch here, but we just need her. We need her on the field. McDonald will get a chance to throw it in now. Certainly have to keep an eye on Urseg. Somehow that ball always seems to find her in these situations. And it does again. Urseg flicks it on to Mewis. Ball in the box now for Williams. The shot in the corner, and she got the goal!
The set piece long throw. How many times do we say it? If you're good at what you do, it doesn't matter if the opponent knows what's coming. You can't defend it. McDonald, the long throw. Ursig, the flick. It bounces around. Williams, a one-touch left-footed volley. Gets her hips around it. Right there, the header just not enough to get it out. Not a real hard shot, but she's aiming for that corner. She knows. Out of the reach of Betos as she swings her hips around. Betos on the near post. What a finish. That long throw-in is just a dagger.
It has been the X factor in this game without question.
I don't think I've ever seen in one game 3 goals come ultimately from the result of a long throw.
Yeah, all 3 for Western New York in this match, and the Golden Boot winner with not the strongest or hardest finish, as you said, but placing it where she needed to, maybe catching Betos a little bit on her heels or shielded a bit from the players in front of her.
Just a reminder, though, obviously no golden goal, and Portland's not letting down, that's for sure.
No, we will have that second extra time period regardless. So still plenty of time left if you're Portland. All day long, Mark Parsons has been telling his team, settle down, stay calm.
Good pressure there by Hamilton stepping up.
Well, I mean, she just came off the bench. She's got the freshest legs of anybody out there. Sinclair trying to collect the ball. Oh, nice work by Christine Sinclair to get it to Brynja Stoddard. Brynja Stoddard has behind Hinkle to Haran. The shot, it's off the crossbar again. We've seen the crossbar come into play for both teams now.
Allie's looking for some width on this side, but everybody's pinched way in. She wanted something over here.
McDonald drew the foul right around midfield.
His ball in, Haran. Oh. Because she had a step there. Nobody was touch tight. Haran trying to get it done.
I think it was Lynn Williams right with the crossbar for Western New York in regulation. Haran there. May even be a couple others that I'm missing at this point in the game. Be careful back there, Sabrina D'Angelo, with Haran hovering around the ball. D'Angelo having quite a season in net for Western New York. Hinkle has Brynjestadter right there with her.
A little narrow on the last two offensive possessions by Portland on this right side. I think that actually makes it a lot easier for Western New York if Portland decides to go narrow.
Reminder, 2 substitutions remaining for Portland, just 1 for Western New York, should they choose to use them. Sonnet has Williams on her heels. Sinclair again. Volleying the ball around, keeping possession, fouled by Hamilton. Well, sometimes you just hang on to it enough, that'll happen.
Was an easy whistle. This is a really long ball to try to serve in.
She may have gotten hit in the face, though. Had her hands up to her nose, Christine Sinclair, coming away from that play. Comes the service from Sonnet. Sinclair not even in there. Heath just bumped off the ball by Smith. I don't think Heath even knew she was coming.
Kind of took it right off her, and then Heath almost kind of raised her arm after that, like, I'm assuming maybe kind of a my bad, because she was trying to take a couple touches there.
Mewis has McDonald and Williams running up there with her. Sam Mewis in those long legs stretching out, gets it to Williams. Williams the shot, and she's got another one.
The transition counterattack. Coach Riley said to us yesterday, we can counter, we can do it. We just don't do it that often because we're so busy pressing and turning the ball over in that offensive third of the field that we don't have to do it often. But they did it here. And beautiful composure on the ball, great runs in, support, and how about the slotted, perfectly paced, weighted ball by Sam Mewis. Williams uses her speed. And again, left-footed finish, passes it, lower right corner, beats Betos on the far post.
What a gorgeous ball from Mewis, who had the first goal of the game, now a huge assist. Portland did make one change there. Catherine Reynolds coming off. Haley Rasso, the 22-year-old Australian, into the match. Portland really up against it now. 2-goal deficit. They came back from it once already in this match. Can they do it again? Smith.
Another little counter here because Portland's got to throw the numbers forward now. You can't take any.
Hamilton looking for the feed of McDonald.
They're pushing.
Lynn Williams, both of her goals coming in extra time to give this 2-goal lead to Western New York. Looks like 1 extra minute of stoppage time added on to this first extra time period. A little dummy by Sinclair trying to get it to Heath. Bounce back out to Christine Sinclair, who had that quick answer for Portland's first goal of the match. The ball by Brynja's daughter headed. Horan, the shot! Once again, it's a one-goal game.
Good Lord. Holy cow, I can't even keep track. Klingenberg with the ball in. Brynja's daughter with the header. And Horan following it up, not giving up on it. And then she goes straight to the net, picks up the ball, and sets it down. Wow, what a game.
I mean, you hate to see one of these teams have to stay home and not go to Houston next week. They have both played.
I wish we had one of those cameras, you know, on Washington watching this game right now. Like if the team was together somewhere watching this thing unfold. Because if you're just a fan of soccer, it doesn't even matter. Unbelievable. I feel like I've used that word probably too many times today, but I just can't think of another one. I'll have to pick up my thesaurus.
Believe it, my friend. It has been nothing short of spectacular here at Providence Park today. And now both teams will go into the final in Houston next Sunday, having had to play through extra time, regardless of who it is. Washington winning in the 110th minute on Friday night against Chicago. And Portland down a goal here after a couple of goals from Lynn Williams to start the scoring off in extra time. And then Horan tacking on one more in the 106th minute. So it's a one-goal game. Nobody out there probably feeling very comfortable at the moment.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're not feeling good about clearly a 2-goal lead, a 1-goal lead. You just don't know what is going to happen. Everybody trying to catch their breath.
3 goals scored in that first extra time period. This is the first. That McDonald throw, once again, just lethal for Western New York as Lynn Williams dribbles it into the corner.
Not a lot on it, but she placed it. And then look at this, Klingenberg. Just a beautiful step by Mewis. So then Klingenberg is out of position defensively. Mewis, 5-6, nice touches. Draws the defenders in just enough, slots that ball in behind, and Lynn Williams again, that left-footed, but Klingenberg. Service, Brynja Stoddard gets enough on it. Horan doesn't give up on it. Nobody's marking goal side. 3 goals in extra time.
As I said, believe it. Lindsey Horan, what an important goal that was in stoppage time of the first extra time period. And now it'll come down to these final 15 minutes, maybe. Of course, if we happen to be tied again, which at this point I certainly wouldn't count out at the end of the second extra time period, we would head to penalty kicks. Right now, that's the goal for Portland. They at least need to get it to a tie on that score line. As Paul Riley, sent off in the first half, is going to sit and watch and simply hope his team can hang on.
Somebody just called him and said, hey, you're on TV right now.
A little further away than he's accustomed to being, as you can see where he's found himself a seat here at Providence Park. Seat's not easy to come by. Told you earlier, an NWSL playoff record set, over 20,000 on hand for the team that once again broke its own NWSL record in attendance for the season. And just a reminder, as we did show you Paul Riley, should Western New York advance to the final next Sunday, Paul Riley would be suspended for that match, as Hamilton is kind of getting a clear lane here. Bad touch. And it's going to still bounce around. Razzo's come back to help.
Hamilton's jersey comes untucked. Those are 2 sets of fresh legs over there going at it, so we'll see if the ball gets served up on the far side quite a bit.
Scott Vallow, assistant coach, taking over head coaching duties in this match. Guess the long clearance. Hamilton. Williams on it again, looking for McDonald. Oh, just at the last second, Sonnet. Sonnet's goal was the equalizer in regulation for Portland, her first of her NWSL career. Eddie takes it away. McDonald, Hamilton. Wisely finds some space. Taylor Smith right there on that sideline, charging into the goal now on her left foot, cutting back to her right. Allie Long tries to shield her off the ball, saying, Betos, where are you? But Allie Long composed enough to play it. Sure looked like she was waiting for her keeper to come get the ball. But could this be a counter opportunity for Henri? Trying to slide it through for Brittany's daughter. She got there. So did D'Angelo. D'Angelo's still recovering, back now in goal. Henri sends it far post, but that's not going to be within the reach of Haley Razzo.
D'Angelo making me a little nervous back there. That first ball, she came out all the way on the edge of the 18-yard box.
And I'm sure at that point she just figured, you know, once you go, you better just go. You can't stop and go back. She had to keep going. And it was really a beautifully weighted ball for Brynja's daughter. Williams, and I guess on to defend, stays in. Heath comes back for it. And now what will Allie Long choose to do? Western New York content to let her take it that far. She finds Horan.
And Rasso was wide open on that far side, but they chose to keep it up the middle.
Horan back to Long, trying to turn, just lost it at the last second. Difficult touch by Bengues. Mewis steps in. McDonald. Boy, having to make run after run, much like Ortega for Washington on Friday, much like Kristen Press for Chicago. You just see these players gutting it out as best they can, even into extra time.
Can't forget about Crystal Dunn up there either.
Yeah, running the whole game.
Entertaining players in these two matches.
And a card comes out that time, and the crowd says thank you. Eddie picking up the yellow.
You can see so much arm tugging there. And if it wasn't the second one, it should have been the first one.
Yeah, I couldn't see that.
I couldn't either. From our angle, we cannot see that. So that was a great camera shot to see. Because the actual physical contact didn't look like that big of a deal. But when you see her grabbing onto her whole arm, and Heath fought off the first one, and good call by the referee.
And now a set piece. You talked about how dangerous these have been, how influential in this match. Tobin Heath right to D'Angelo.
Just gonna want that one back. And D'Angelo just reading the set pieces by Tobin Heath pretty well today. Bending in towards the keeper, but too close.
Portland Thorns haven't given up 4 goals all season long until this match. Question is, do they have enough in the tank to find a 4th goal of their own to even this thing back up?
You've given up more than 4 times on the season?
Yeah, just 19 goals allowed. Less than 1 per game as Sinclair bouncing ball in the box.
Mewis thought about it, stepping up to pressure, and then said, I'm going to stay home, I think. in the middle, up a goal in the second extra time.
Henri couldn't get it to Heath. McDonald wisely holds up. Urseg wants to keep moving forward though with Williams. Smith realizing time of the game, taking her time over there, still gets a good cross in. It's intercepted in the last second by Rasso. Talked about how good Portland's defense has been this season. That's what we were talking about. Just 19 goals allowed all season long, best in the league. It's the third time in NWSL history a team has had under a 1 goal per game allowed average, and 4 allowed today. Henri, can she be the difference maker for Portland? Too strong. There have been so many heroes at different moments in this game. Sinclair certainly one early on with her quick goal. Sonnet, the equalizer, to send us into extra time. Lynn Williams has been huge in extra time for Western New York. Sinclair, maybe not enough on that. Rasso's really still hustled to get to it. It'll be a free kick. Sinclair thinking about playing fast, and Mewis immediately comes and stands right in front of the ball.
4 players now arguing with the ref. I think he just needs to kind of put an end to it at some point. I think if you're Western New York, just get back and mark up. It's not going to accomplish much in the second half of extra time, arguing with the referee. She clipped her maybe just a bit from behind. Get back, focus on marking up, and focus on your defensive responsibilities at this point.
Better ball this time, but not good enough.
What in the world? That's almost the exact same ball, and I don't know if Portland wasn't ready for it, if she's bending it too close, if D'Angelo's coming off her line on time, but it seems like kind of an easy save for D'Angelo to make.
It looked initially like it would hold up just a little bit more, and let her players get onto it, but too far.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a flick-on header for Allie Long, and maybe just a little too much underneath it, and easy for D'Angelo.
Whoa. Yellow card on Tobin Heath. And I know she's been frustrated by the physical play she's had to endure all game long, but she really gave it back to Taylor Smith right there.
I'm not sure.
Michaela Hahn has come on for Western New York. Finally, Jessica McDonald will get a break for the Flash, as they will try to see this thing out, try to hang on. But first, they've got to attend to Smith. The crowd doesn't like it, but I'm telling you, there was a lot of contact between those two players, Heath and Smith.
Smith is going to step off for a second here. And you can see the battle right here as Smith does a good job to get back behind Heath. Gets good position. A nice little tackle there, and she's trying to get up and get the ball. And Heath just trying to climb over the top.
5 yellow cards issued in this match between the two teams as Smith does come back onto the field. You will know that some extra added time will be tacked on there for the time it took to tend to her. Heath keeps it in for Horan.
Nice little move by Klingenberg there. Whoops.
And it just went off the back heel unintentionally of Horan. Williams has Hamilton on the far side, but she's probably going to head to that corner at least, and now she just gets past Menges. She'll take her time in the corner. Why not? Western New York trying to hang on and advance to the championship. Still a lot of time left, though. 4 minutes plus whatever stoppage time is added on in the second extra time period. Better ball needed there from Henri. Heath misses it. Smith on it. And it'll be a Portland throw. Seven goals already scored in this NWSL semifinal. Will we see another between the league's two highest scoring teams? Expected fireworks, but I'm not even sure we expected quite this much. Sonnet looking for Haran, heads it down for Brynja's daughter.
D'Angelo coming off her line again so quickly with her defenders even tight.
Sun is in D'Angelo's eyes right now too, the way it's coming in here in Providence Park. Henri, Brynja's daughter is there. Allie Long. So Long, the heartbeat of this Portland team. Finds Henri, who's going to put it right back in the fray. And now it'll be D'Angelo's turn with a little time wasting. This Western New York Flash team that Paul Riley said nobody expected anything of. He had very little time and hand in putting this team together. He was hired later in the process. Young players. And look what they've done. I think even he would tell you, he probably feels they're a year, maybe even two away from building this program the way they'd like to. But when you can score the way Western New York does, you find yourselves in some great positions as that collision. Both players really going in hard that time and staying down on the ground.
I actually thought that was a foul. I'd have to take a look at the replay. As Parsons again irate, but it looked like a misstep defensively, and Allie Long was gonna get another touch on the ball in the collision just outside of the box.
Dahlkemper and Long, the two involved there. Let's take another look at it if we can.
And right here, Dahlkemper tries on the header and just misses, then misses on that play as she's reaching for it.
Sonnet. "30 seconds and whatever added time is put on here." Klingenberg, header.
And Smith and Klingenberg were still down on this other side as that ball came back out.
Henri, Sinclair trying to get to it. Now Klingenberg helps out. 3 minutes of added time to determine a winner.
It's going to feel like an eternity for Western New York right now defensively.
The regular season champion Portland Thorns on the verge of elimination unless they can find a little stoppage time magic in extra time.
Not a single person sitting down.
Haran. And you can see that several possessions in a row, they're really sending numbers up. They're letting Sonnet get the ball and try to deliver it into the box. Playing a little more direct than they're accustomed to. There's another ball on the field.
Well, no, she tried to clear it off the field, D'Angelo, and it hit the wall and came back on. So she didn't do it on purpose, and now she's going to get a yellow. But I really don't think she did it intentionally. She was trying to clear it over the wall, hit the wall, and came back in. I think she was hoping a ball girl would just run out and get it, but...
So add D'Angelo to the collection of yellows in this match. And physical, hard fought by both teams. Williams just gets the touch on it, just enough to disrupt Portland. She does it again.
Got to be quicker there by Menges.
Grasso, ton of speed. Sonnet once again trying to pick out those attacking players for Portland that are so dangerous. Long to Heath. Numbers coming for Portland. Heath trying to get around Eddie. Oh, she's hopping on one leg right now, Tobin Heath. Really holding her right knee, but the Thorns still need one. Another ball in the box. Her hand is there. She got on it. It's saved off the line. Oh my goodness.
I thought that ball was going in.
Dahlkemper heads the ball out of danger. It looked like Horan had it.
And look at the contact. She essentially gets punched in the head. I thought that was going in, and Dahlkemper.
Dahlkemper perhaps with a clearance that will put her team in the championship. Time going off that clock. Remember, there were 3 minutes, a minimum of 3 minutes initially that were added on to this extra time period. Christine Sinclair to Heath. Somehow Heath still gets a cross in. She can barely walk.
Throw.
30 more seconds.
Long trying to turn. Does now to Henri. A little too long on the ball is Henri there. It allows Western New York to recover. She still has it though. Asking a lot of Heath right there. Klingenberg. Is this it for Portland? Is this their last chance? What do they have? A couple of heads get to the ball, but cannot direct it toward the goal. And that is it. The Western New York Flash have come in here and dethroned the regular season champion Portland Thorns. The crowd stunned into silence here. A few complimentary claps for the match they have just witnessed, which was nothing short of fantastic. 7 goals in this match.
Unbelievable. That might be the last time I say it today. That match gave us everything we asked for, and it is tough to see a loser.
But that pressure of Western New York, the relentless effort on the offensive end, and a lot of physical play. In the end, Western New York gutting it out for the 4-3 win in extra time.
A lot of boos for the referees there. Allie Long even walking over towards the refs and having a little bit of a word. The passion, the energy, and the competitive nature of these players.
How big was Lynn Williams, the Golden Boot winner with 2 goals in extra time. That gave Western New York another 2-goal cushion. Lindsey Horan cut it to 1 once again, but in the end, Western New York wins it 4-3. We'll be back to wrap up after this.